So weight loss advice can be very confusing. There's so much information and you don't know what to believe. So let's break down some viral TikTok weight loss advice and see whether they're good or not.
How does someone get rid of that stubborn belly fat?
The only way to get rid of the belly fat is to eat less and probably exercise more as well. It's physics.
So this is true. However, it's not as simple as saying eat less and move more, especially to someone who's never tried to lose weight before or someone who has no idea about nutrition, calories, etc. So what I mean by this is, let's take a chocolate bar, for example, and a chocolate bar about that big would be about 200 calories, whereas you could get 200 calories worth of chicken breast, which is going to give you a much bigger portion. So even though the chocolate bar would be considered eating less because it's less in volume, it's not going to satisfy you. You're probably going to want more after it.
There's always wanting more.
Whereas the chicken is much bigger in volume, it's high in protein, so it's going to keep you satiated, and it has a better macro calorie ratio. So yeah, this is correct, but I think it just needs to be broken down a little bit more.
Okay, it's difficult to do, but it's physics. Your weight will go on to where genetically it's going to go.
Correct, because some people store it in their back. Some people store fat in their stomach, their face. For example, me, whenever I gain weight, straight to my face and my midsection. And as women as well, we tend to hold more fat in our midsection compared to men. That's just genetically how it is. I don't make the rules, I'm afraid.
And will come off from that. What size of your boobs? What's the size of your bum? What's the size of your belly? People wish they could direct where they get the weight loss from.
And this is another thing, you can't spot reduce where you lose fat from. It doesn't work like that. There's no exercise out there that's gonna make you lose fat from your abs, lose fat from your arms. Your body will lose weight, will lose fat overall. It doesn't just decide, oh, I've done some bicep curls today, I'm gonna lose some fat from my arms. It don't work like that. You cannot spot reduce where you lose fat.
From my tummy, it's very difficult to get rid of the stubborn fat by trying to do sit-ups. But what you have to do is you do actually have to sort of shift your eating patterns in order to lose belly fat.
Yeah, so overall, that was good weight loss advice. Like I said, just the thing at the start by saying eat less, move more, isn't going to be helpful to someone who's never tried to lose weight before, if that makes sense.
If you want to melt off body fat this summer, this is exactly what you should do. I think that everybody's first experience with weight loss should be slow and steady so people can get used to being a little bit more active and being a little bit more mindful with their food choices.
Yeah, so I'm not an advocate for quick fixes and quick weight loss, because if it's not sustainable, then in my opinion, it's not healthy. So if you are someone who's just trying to lose weight or just started their fitness journey, you need to find something that's sustainable and what works for you, because what might work for me may not work for you.
If you are someone with more experience, this is exactly what I'm doing in my more aggressive cut. I am in a 750 calorie deficit, which means...
So 750 calorie deficit is very aggressive. Like, you are going to be starving if your deficit is 750 calories. But like he said, he's experienced in this and done this number of times, so he can probably deal with that a lot better than someone who's just starting out on their fitness journey and trying to lose weight. But if you are someone who is just starting, I would say go from anywhere between 300 to 500 calorie deficit just to get used to it. Because if you go straight into 750, I promise you're gonna hate your life.
It means that I am eating 750 fewer calories than I need every day. I'm eating 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of my current body weight. I'm getting between 12 and 15,000 steps every single day.
So he said he's getting 12 to 15K steps a day, right? That's brilliant. But again, if you're a beginner, I wouldn't say go straight into a goal of 15K steps a day, especially for someone who's not very active with their steps anyway. So let's say you currently average 3K steps a day. You now trying to hit 15K steps a day, it doesn't make sense. You're trying to run before you can walk, no pun intended, but you get what I mean. If I was to say to you, go and hit 15K steps a day, that's impossible. And you're gonna hate it because you're not used to it. So what I would do, I would gradually increase it each week. So the first week you aim for 4, then you aim for 5 the following week, etc., and then build yourself up to get to that point.
I'm not drinking any of my calories unless it is a protein shake. I have replaced almost all of...
So he said he doesn't drink any of his calories unless it's a protein shake. And I'm such an advocate for this, especially if you're trying to lose weight, because you have to remember that everything contains calories, right? The milk you put in your coffee, the juice that you have at breakfast, the orange juice, the apple juice, whatever it is that you have, everything that you consume contains calories. So why would you waste your calories on liquid when you can use that for food. It's hard enough being in a deficit anyway, so I would just rather have that as something I can actually physically consume rather than drink. And that's why I always advise people to go for 0-calorie fizzy drinks like Diet Coke, Coke Zero, etc. Because that way you're saving a lot of calories and you can have more calories for your food. It just makes sense.
Of my liquid calories with either 0 or low calorie alternatives. I've removed all of the junk food from my house so as to not tempt me.
My friends absolutely hate me when they come to my house because they'll have no snacks. I literally have no snacks in my house. Because I know that if I buy chocolate, biscuits, crisps, sweets, anything junk food, I will eat it. If it's in my house, I will eat it. So I purposely don't buy it because if it ain't there, I ain't gonna be tempted to eat it. Okay, so overall, that was a great video. I think he touched on some really good points. He's speaking from a perspective of someone who's, you know, been involved with fitness for a long time. It just depends where you're at in your journey, but yeah, there were some good points in there for sure.
I lost 60 pounds of body fat and healed from several chronic health issues through food. Here's how I'm breaking my...
Okay, so this is looking like a keto diet because that's not heavy in carbs at all. I mean, obviously you've got the carbs from the bananas and the dates, but yeah, this is 1 meal a day. Okay, let's see what she's got to say.
More butter, topped with Redmond's real salt. And then here I have 2 whole dates. This is probably about a little more than a tablespoon of cold butter. Then I have a whole banana here. And then I also have about half of a large Hass avocado. And I also brought some raw honey that I have on the side that I'm gonna put on top of the burger patties. Don't knock it till you try it. Even though this meal is really, really big, this is not gonna bloat you. It's not gonna make you feel groggy like you wanna go take a nap. This is actually...
Okay, so the issue I have with this, number one, is that it's the OMAD diet. And people may find that, you know, this helps them to lose weight. But my only issue with it is you're cramming all of your calories that you require in a day into 1 meal. So let's say your goal is to get 120 grams of protein each day. You've got to figure out a way of how to get 120 grams of protein into 1 meal. Do you know how hard that is going to be to finish? I don't even want to know how many chicken breasts that is. That's probably a lot of chicken breasts. So you're going to struggle to eat it, and as a result of that, you're probably not going to end up hitting your calorie intake, and you're going to be missing out on all these other nutrients because you have to cram everything into 1 meal. Do you get what I mean?
Actually gonna fuel you with so much energy, help clear your skin, help heal your gut, and just overall make you feel absolutely amazing. For more healthy recipes and meal ideas just like this one, you can comment a cow emoji or check out the link in my bio. What did you have for dinner?
Well, it's currently 2 p.m, but I'm actually gonna have some ground beef with potatoes and veg. So yeah, not a fan of that one, guys, not gonna lie.
If you don't want to lose weight, don't watch this video, but if you want to lose weight, I'm gonna tell you how to do that as literally a connoisseur. Whenever I want to lose weight, I lose weight. I'm losing weight right now. Just walk.
And I'm sure you lot have heard this a million times before. People will focus on a step count in order to lose weight. So let me show you something really quickly. So you have something called total daily calorie expenditure. So around 65 to 75% makes up your basal metabolic rate. This is your BMR. So how many calories your body needs to just be alive and exist, okay? So that's you breathing, walking, just living and existing. Your body burns calories, okay? Then you've got 10% from the thermic effects of food. And yes, your body basically burns calories just by digesting food. Then you've got 5% from exercise, and I'm sure that might shock you. And then you've got 15% from your NEAT. So this is things like walking. So as you can see, your NEAT has a much bigger percentage than your exercise activity. Therefore, that's why you hear people banging on about get your steps in, increase your steps. So rather than focusing on the 5%, why not focus on the 15%? And it's much easier for you to get steps in than having to exercise. Does that make sense? Now, I'm not saying don't exercise, because I know how people get, but you get my drift here.
You wanna know what helped me lose weight? Being able to eat the same thing nonstop. Like, I kid you not, my favorite breakfasts I have been eating for probably, I'm not joking, over 10 years at this point.
Same. People ask me, Shiv, how do you stay in shape all year round? For this exact reason. Because, maybe it's because I have an obsessive personality, I don't know, but it's very easy for me to eat the same thing every day and not care. And because of this, I know exactly how many calories are in it. I know the exact macros. So I know that, for example, I have oats with a square of dark chocolate, some peanut butter, and then a a side of Greek yogurt. But I know exactly how many calories and how much protein is in that, etc. So yeah, this is a weight loss hack for sure.
Once I find something I like, dude, I will eat it to death. I don't know if this is normal. Does anyone else relate to this? But I think that's actually helped me in my weight loss goals and my leaning out and staying fit, right? Because I know how this concoction that I create makes me feel. And I just repeat it. It takes the guesswork out of it. It keeps my day simple.
This is another thing as well. I don't like cooking. It's too time consuming. So when you get to a point where you've figured out what meals are fast and, you know, what meals are going to reduce your time, this is a no-brainer as well. Because you know when you go in the supermarket, you know exactly what to buy because you have the same thing every single day. So it reduces time in that aspect as well. And what I do, I usually bulk cook my meat. So like if I'm getting chicken breast, I'll get a massive pack of chicken breast, cook it all at once. Then I just have protein there ready to go. Again, reduces time. But yeah, another great weight loss hack.
The biggest hack helping to lose the weight, suppress my appetizing, help my skin, help my gut is right here in my hands. Do you know what it is? I talked about this before. Chia seeds, yes.
Okay, so that's chia seeds mixed in water. And I feel like I already know what she's gonna say, but let's just see, just to make sure.
I love it. Put in your water. It's not taste. I overdid today. You don't have to do this much. But this is life change. You're gonna see how much you're gonna suppress your appetizing. Help you.
Okay, so she said suppress your appetite, and this will suppress your appetite because the chia seeds have so much fiber. It's going to keep you very, very full.
Your gut, help your stomach, full of fiber. It's just life change. Try.
Okay, so this is a sticky one because what you need to understand is that there's two different types of fiber, right? So you have soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. Two different types. So soluble fiber dissolves in water and slows down digestion and helps lower blood sugar and cholesterol levels and makes you feel full for longer. And those are things like oats, nuts, peas, and some fruit and veg. Whereas on the other hand, you have insoluble fiber. And this is the fiber that doesn't dissolve in water, basically. So this actually helps to move food through your digestive tract, which can help prevent constipation. And this can be found in nuts as well, beans and some vegetables. So chia seeds do actually contain both types of fiber, but around 85 to 93% is insoluble. So the body kind of doesn't digest it, if that makes sense. So because of its high fiber content, it will help you feel fuller for longer, making you less hungry, therefore you won't eat more. Would I tell you to drink this every day? No, and especially if you're not consuming enough of the other types of fiber, you're gonna feel constipated as shit, basically, no pun intended. So would I recommend it? Not really.
I don't know why y'all won't listen to me, but if you want to stay shredded and travel, just stop drinking your fucking calories.
Guys, I know I spoke about this before, but literally. For example, you see that caramel frappuccino that you get from Starbucks or something, yeah? That's gonna have on average 300 calories. You can have about 3 or 4 eggs for that. Do you get what I mean? So you're just better off saving your calories for something that you can actually eat.
That's the only thing I'm gonna ask you to do. Listen to this. When you go and get coffee, get it black with sugar-free pumps.
So this is what I do when people look at me sideways. Whenever I get coffee, yeah, I'll get black Americano and I add sweetener to it. And that's me. And on top of that, caffeine in general is an appetite suppressant. So it's a win-win.
And that's what sweetens it. It's gonna taste weird, but your body's gonna get normal to it after 27 days because it takes 27 days to break a habit. And then when you're gonna drink your normal drink after 27 days, you're gonna be like, oh, this is so sweet. People don't have a caffeine addiction. They have a fucking sugar addiction.
Facts. Facts. And I'm not saying that I don't consume sugar, because I do. Like, chocolate is my weakness, but I have to have it in small doses. Because have you noticed that when you eat something that's very high in sugar content, you can't stop eating it? It's genuinely an addiction. Now, I'm not saying cut out sugar completely, because I don't think I could cut out my beloved chocolate. Hell motherfucking no. But just be mindful, that's all I'm saying.
Once you control your sugar intake, you don't bloat as much and you don't have fat sitting in your fucking stomach.
Because the thing is, with sugar and a lot of ultra processed food, because the food is so processed, your body will naturally hold on to a lot more water. So because your water retention is a lot higher, that's where the bloating comes in. Do you get what I mean?
And then also, when you consume enough protein, your body starts metabolizing things so much faster. The more protein, the more muscle mass you have, the faster your metabolism is.
I would say to aim for 1 gram per pound of body weight each day.
So just consume a lot of protein, don't drink your calories. Also, sauces have a lot of calories. So don't be a saucy person.
You see the dip from Domino's? Let me show you lot. So you see this dip, yeah? If you're from the UK, it slaps, because I know the garlic dip from the Domino's in America don't taste as good as this. But you know the big one that you get with the pizza, the big dip, where is it? The big dip. It contains 675 calories. You can have a whole meal for that. Do you know how mad that is? That's absolutely insane.
I usually, if I eat my fries, I don't have ranch. Or if I have salad, then I'm gonna have my salad dressing. It's just balance. And if I want a coffee, I'm gonna do a black coffee with a couple pumps of sugar-free vanilla. I haven't been home in fucking 2 weeks. It's about what you drink, not about what you eat, guys. And I haven't been to the gym in fucking forever, so.
Okay, it is about what you eat though, let's be real. But overall, some really good tips in there. Lovely.
I found a way to lose fat and look a lot more toned. I'm going to let you guys know everything I did to achieve this. For reference, this was me in June, and then this was me in September. So yeah, quite a lot of progress for 3 months. I think the first thing to understand is the science behind it, and it's the fact that you can't spot reduced fat.
Thank God. Thank goodness. Do you know how nice it is to see someone online saying that you can't spot reduced fat? Because you can't. You can't. Thank you, sis. Big up you.
I know it's so annoying. I wish you could. However, once you realize nutrition is such a big factor, you want to be...
I'm going to say nutrition is 90% of the process, for sure. You cannot out-train a bad diet. It's not possible.
Be in a calorie deficit. You want to prioritize whole foods. I'll put a list of the type of foods you want to have in your diet on the...
So she's got protein. Yeah, I'm not going to read through all that, but she's spot on.
The screen. And guys, I know it can be hard, but you really want to cut back on added sugars and refined carbs, and also alcohol.
So the thing with refined carbs, so the difference with refined carbs and normal carbs is refined carbs are usually your processed carbs, so things like muffins, cookies, chocolate, sweets, things that have a lot of added sugar. And again, these aren't going to be satiating, they aren't going to fill you up, and it's junk food basically. And 9 times out of 10, let's say you open a packet of biscuits or cookies, you ain't just going to eat one, you're going to continuously eat. So I'm not saying cut them out, because like I said before, I still have sugary things, but you just have to be mindful, because these aren't going to help you, especially if you're trying to lose fat.
Yes, alcohol. I have not had a sip of alcohol for about 4 months now. Although this...
Guys, I used to drink a lot when I was younger. I barely drink now. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a drink, like literally hate it. But alcohol, if you are trying to lose weight, alcohol just doesn't make sense, because let's be real, when you drink alcohol, again, you're drinking your calories. 2, you don't make good choices when you drink alcohol. Whenever you drink alcohol, what is it that you want? You want a greasy type of dish, like a pizza, a burger, a kebab. And then on top of that, the following day, you're not gonna wanna eat healthy. You're still gonna wanna crave those junk foods. So you're just adding fuel to the fire, do you get what I mean? And again, I'm not shunning anyone who drinks, because it's none of my business, do you get it? But I'm just saying, just be wary of these things if you are trying to lose weight.
It was a religion-based decision. I have seen such a progress in my fat loss journey, because whilst there's alcohol in your system, you cannot lose fat. It's just a fact.
So when you drink alcohol, your body prioritizes getting that out of your system, because alcohol is a toxin. Therefore, it ain't gonna give a shit about you losing fat. It's got this unknown substance in its body that it needs to get out. So it doesn't prioritize you being in a calorie deficit, or it doesn't do that. It focuses on getting that shit out your system.
So focus on strength training at least 3 times a week. Strength training doesn't only help you build muscle and make you look more toned, but it helps to increase your metabolism, meaning that you burn more calories at rest.
So what she means by this is the more muscle that you build, the more calories you will burn at rest, because muscle naturally burns more calories at rest than what fat does.
Like, who doesn't want that? I would also also do cardio around 2 to 3 times a week. This is just to help with the overall energy burn, to aid in keeping me in a calorie deficit. Also valid mention.
Is cardio a necessity for losing weight? No. Can it help? Yes.
Mentions are often overlooked. Drinking at least 2 to 3 liters of water a day, prioritizing your sleep, and also
sleep is probably one of the most underrated things out there. Genuinely, because if that's not in check, you're not going to recover from your workouts. Therefore, it's just going to be a constant loop of you trying to get your energy back. And sleep will affect with your hormones, your hunger hormones, and obviously that is going to affect the food choices you make, which is going to affect this. And do you get it? So yeah.
Also just managing your stress. High stress leads to higher cortisol levels, which can ultimately result in fat storage around the stomach. Lastly, I would train core 2 to 3 times a week. And when I say train core, I mean with weights, deficit sit-ups. Like, your abs are still a muscle. Everyone has abs.
So I train my abs probably about once a week. 2 to 3 times a week, I think that's a bit excessive, because you have to think of your abs just like any other muscle. Would you train your quads 3 times a week? I mean, some people might. I mean, I wouldn't advise it, because I just feel like, how are you going to recover enough in between each session to be able to hit 3 times a week? But you have to treat them like any other muscle group. Just like you would progressively overload your glutes because you want your body to look bigger, you have to do the same with your abs. You doing 20 crunches with no weight every single week, and then you're sitting there wondering why you've got no definition in your abs, because you're not giving them stimulus. You need some sort of weight to allow the muscles to grow. Obviously, you know, your abs will show as well because of how much body fat percentage you have, etc. But you get what I'm trying to say here.
Abs, so we still have to go heavy. I hope this video has been helpful, and if you have any questions, just drop it in the comment section.
Sis, what's her name? More Nike. Listen, that was spot on. That was top class. Okay guys, that was it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.